Welcome back to the channel. I am the Dogfather and this is Barbecue Boulevard with the Dogfather. Now today we're going to get into one of those Central Texas classics. We're talking about beef ribs. A lot of you guys call them dino ribs, but here in Texas we like to call it brisket on a stick. So we got some dino beef ribs going on today, so let's get into it. All right, so to get started with this recipe here, we've got a 3-bone plate rib or dino rib that we got here, and we took the fat cap off. Now, sometimes I'll leave the fat cap on, sometimes I'll take it off. Today I decided to kind of take it off, and I took most of it. What I don't want to do is I don't want to take off so much that I'm actually gouging down into the meat. I want to keep it, keep a nice even layer there across the top here. So we took the fat cap off as best we're going to get it, and we're going to get it seasoned up. To start off, we're going to put a binder on here, and today I'm going old school. We're going to do some yellow mustard, and this is going to help us just to give us a really good thick bark hopefully on this beef rib, and that's how we're going to get started. Okay, so now that we got our binder on, our yellow mustard binder, we're going to get the pepper on. Now, Central Texas, we love our pepper, and this is going to be that 16 mesh black pepper, so we're going to get a good dose of 16 mesh black pepper on here. This is going to help us get a really good bark onto this beef rib here, much like when we do brisket. All right, so we're going to get that on there. And now we've got our 16 mesh black pepper on here, and we're just patting it in. All right, next up, we're going to get on our Texas barbecue rub, and this is the Pit Boss brand. And we're going to go pretty liberally with this because, after all, this is a dense cut of meat, and it can absolutely take it. And so that's what we're going to do. All right, so now we've got this beef rib all rubbed up here, and we're gonna get ready to get this on the grill. All right, guys, so we got our beef ribs all seasoned up here, and they're ready to go, and we're gonna get it on the grill. And today we're gonna be using our Navigator Series 1600, and we've got it loaded up with Pit Boss brand Trophy Blend Pellets. We're gonna be running this today at 250 degrees Fahrenheit, so let's get these ribs on the grill. All right, let's get this grill open here. Now, I did install a little drip pan here. This is going to catch all of our juices that may come off of our beef rib, and that's just going to help us keep the grill as clean as possible. So we're going to pull this rack out here so we can get our protein put on. All right, beautiful beef rib going on right there. Slide our rack back in, and we're going to let it go. All right, so we just got our beef ribs onto our Navigator series over here. And what I want to do is I want to inject a little bit more smoke. We're going to try to get some more smoke into this beef rib. So we're going to use the Pit Boss brand Maximize Your Smoke Kit. Now, this is a very simple kit to use. You got a funnel and your pellet tube. We're just going to fill it with some pellets. And then we're going to use the handy dandy torch that comes along with it. This butane torch lights up your pellets, and there you got some additional smoke to go in the chamber. So that's how we're going to help level up these beef ribs, get a little bit more smoke flavor in them, and we're just going to let these beef ribs go, and I'll bring you back when we get to our first checkpoint. Okay, now it's been about 4 hours since we got our beef ribs on here, and I did end up putting them into the middle rack here and pull the top rack out just to give me more headroom here for whenever I'm going to do anything with the ribs. But again, this is our 4-hour mark. We're going to pull these guys out and take a look, and they're coming along very nicely. You can see there's some pooling here on the top, which means we've got plenty of moisture coming out of this rib here. It's got some good pool back here, and our smoke tube is just going away there. It's just producing tons of smoke. But what I'm going to do is I want to go ahead and put a spritz on here. And why am I putting a spritz on? Well, I'm putting a spritz on because when you introduce moisture into your ribs like this and your bark is already set, it's going to attract more smoke. And again, we're trying to get as much smoke into this as we can. So we've got our handy dandy Pit Boss sprayer here. Now the spritz that I'm using today is just going to be straight 50% apple juice, 50% apple cider vinegar, but absolutely feel free to use whatever spritz you like. But that is what we're going to use today. We're going to get this put back in here, and we're going to close it up, and I'll bring you back at our next checkpoint. All right, so if you're keeping score at home, you've noticed a couple of things about this cook. One, we did not remove the membrane from the backside of these beef ribs. And you know what? That's on purpose. Beef ribs, you want to have that membrane there because that's what helps hold these ribs together as they go through the cook. Because if they're not there, guarantee you your bones will fall out of the ribs and all of that. We don't want that. Again, we call it brisket on a stick. So we want to make sure the stick is still there. Secondly, we didn't wrap these ribs. A lot of people think that you have to wrap ribs in order for them to get nice and tender, and that's just not necessarily the case. So today, we are cooking these ribs from the beginning to the end, completely unwrapped. They're gonna be nice and tender. Now, that leads me to ask the question, do you remove membranes and do you wrap your ribs when you make your ribs? Pop that down there in the comments section and let's talk about it. Back to the cooking. All right, so we just hit our 6-hour mark here and we're gonna take a look at these ribs. And man, they're coming along great there. Feeling pretty good here. Got a little bit of that jiggle there, that's like that. But we're looking for tenderness now. So in order to check our tenderness, I'm gonna use our meat probe here. And I don't care what the numbers say on it. In fact, I'm gonna turn it upside down and I'm just checking for tenderness. I wanna see if this goes in really easy, and you can see that it's not because it's literally still kind of moving the rib a little bit, which means it's still kind of snug onto this probe. So I'm just gonna keep going and let this heat continue to break down the connective fibers in this beef rib and get it nice and super tender for us. So I'm gonna bring you guys back whenever I get ready to take this off, or actually when we're probably at the block. But we're gonna keep applying our spritz to this because again, we wanna keep attracting as much smoke to this beef rib as we can. But we got it spritzed, we're gonna close it up and we're gonna let it keep cooking. And guys, I'll bring y'all back here in a little while. All right, we are back at the block and we've got these beef ribs off. Now, from the last time I had you here, all I did was just keep the heat going on these ribs and keep spraying some spritz on there every probably 30 minutes or so. Just again, because I'm trying to get as much smoke to get attracted to these ribs as possible. And then once we got to the tenderness that we were looking for, again, we don't care about the temperature. We wanted to go for the tenderness. Once we got to the tenderness we were looking for, we got these beef ribs off. Now I've allowed them to rest here, and now it's time to cut into these ribs. Let's check it out. All right, so here we've got our beautiful beef ribs. We're gonna get taken out of our foil here. And man, these things smell fantastic. And even though we left the membrane on, we still had a bone that came loose here. So, I mean, it happens. But I would have preferred that one stay on, you know, it happens. But I'll show you why here in just a second. But we're gonna get this pulled out of here. All right, and there we go, guys. Take a look at those beef ribs. They look phenomenal. They smell phenomenal. Absolutely. All right, so normally what I would do here, my third bone is in here. We would actually cut out this middle bone and cut this right down the middle, and that's how you end up with two massive dino ribs that you usually see at your local barbecue joint. But this poses a little bit of difficulty because we had this bone fall out, but it's all good. We're gonna make this work, and we're just gonna go ahead and cut right here and try to get this bone out of here. All right. So there we go, guys, giving you a good little look there. We got a little bit of a smoke ring here, not a massive smoke ring, but nonetheless, we got us a good little smoke ring there. All right. Now I'm putting it face down here so we can hopefully prevent that from oxidizing. And then here's our other beef rib here. So it's looking fantastic. And man, I'm not even gonna be PC about this. We're gonna take a bite of this beef rib, guys. All right, massive dino beef rib here. Let's take a bite of this. Oh man. Guys, that is one tasty beef rib, if I do say so myself. Great saltiness from the rub that we got on there, the peppers on here. I mean, this is a fantastic beef rib, and hopefully you guys will give this a shot. But Hey, I hope you enjoyed what you saw here. Make sure you give the thumbs up here and like this video, share it out to your friends and family, and subscribe to the channel. And make sure you go check out all the content on the channel, because there's some phenomenal ambassadors on here doing some phenomenal things. But hey, beef rib, baby. I'm gonna see y'all in the next video. I'm out. Peace.